yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong.
Yo, what is up, people? What is up? Welcome back. We have another episode of the O.O.C. Got a few panel members in the house. My co-host Roberto's in the house, and the chat is in the house. Mads Mama Bear's in the house. Eyes Only is in the house. Drop Shop, Tuckerverse. Thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated.
What's good, people?
We're gonna go around.
People? Much love.
Yeah, and we can go around the panel. I'm gonna let Danny and LB talk about their channel since Roberto doesn't have one. So Danny, talk to the people. Tell them about your channel, sir.
So while you're having this, while you guys are having this little, let me know. I'm gonna go and get high. So,
do you think, bro?
What up? I am Danny, aka Comment Chat. You can find me on this show occasionally on Wednesday nights, but usually Monday through Wednesdays I'm on Chaos Central, along with Nzo and Chris Knight. We are postponing tonight's show if you didn't realize that, and we'll be back. Should be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to catch Chris Knight's show, The Rule of Three, and hopefully, if not this Saturday, then definitely next Saturday we'll be back on with Square One. A lot of football news going on out there. I'm ready to talk about it. So tonight should be very interesting.
Absolutely. And LB is in the house. What's up, LB? Talk to the people, sir.
I don't like to speak on rumors, but the streets are telling me that somebody got a bone to pick with me. I had to pull up. I ain't gonna run and hide and go, DM people trying to find out information. And I'm here.
Since Roberto's gone and we got a little time to shoot some shit, I gotta say, what the hell is with the Han Solo overrated shit, bro? Were you trolling?
Yeah, that was a troll last night. He said several quotes that were trolls. Like he's saying Darth Vader was a bitch and Luke Skywalker was a bitch. I'm like, whoa, what?
Well, allow me to explain my position. So,
please do.
If you remember last week's O.O.C., and we had somebody in the chat, I don't even remember their name, but they spent the entire show saying some outlandish statements. Well, it's outlandish to us, but to them it's not, because we hear those kind of statements on a regular basis. And, I felt like coming into y'all chat, and just saying some entertaining things. Like, I felt like saying some things that would spark a conversation. It wasn't anything where it's like, just some real deal beef going to happen and we're going to have to straighten somebody.
So basically you was trolling.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say about 75% trolling. Yeah, I would say
that. Okay, that's all I needed to know. You know what I mean? That's it. So now we can start off with Danny's child. Okay. Danny's okay. Go ahead, Danny. Let's do it.
I got my brothers on here, and we all have something in common. But I am different than one of y'all, than the rest of y'all. I am black and also a police officer, and I know what y'all say. I can't deny some of it's true, but sometimes, man, y'all be giving my profession hell, man, and I don't necessarily think that it's fair. And what I really want to bring to your attention is last week's episode when LB and Uche were talking, especially about when I think D said something about he felt like all people in office, or he felt like everybody in the federal government was crooks. And then if we could go back and play last week's episode, starting at timestamp 38.25.
Man,
I
want to let that run.
I'm scared.
38.25. No problem, buddy. All right, let me bring this
now,
up.
I want to set this up. Uche had taken the floor, and what he was saying, it seemed like everybody on the panel was co-signing. So I just want to play his words back, exactly what he was saying.
No problem. So I have it at 38.18, so we'll take it up from there.
A lot of those people work 9 to 5 like your parents or your friends or your buddies do. They don't know nothing about the shit you be talking about. They work a specific job for the federal government, for the FBI, and they do what they've been doing it for 20 plus years, a lot of these people. So when you talk about corruption, you're talking about one face that you see that you say, oh, it's his fault that nothing happened. But you know who works for this man? All these people that work to bring the evidence to the forefront, that do the actual footwork. There's tens of thousands of federal agents. Tens of thousands. You telling me all these people are in on it? They all corrupt? They all are like, oh, no, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. They're all over. Now they're talking about planting evidence? Come on, dude.
Sorry for that.
These people have been doing their job. A lot of those people, 99% of those people have been doing their job the right way for longer than you've been doing your job.
Like he's a joke. He's a joke because he's not prosecuting people that protest in a bunch of corrupt Supreme Court justices that reversed a decision of 50 years. Like, priorities, people.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you're sitting here trying to make people believe that everybody in the government is corrupt. They're all evil. It's all a big plot.
My man, I hate when people say all politicians in government are corrupt.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Right?
Yeah, cop out. It's just a way to
see. LB said he hate when people say everybody in the federal government is corrupt. That's a cop out. Out that same energy for police officers, because y'all show week after week after week a handful of knuckleheads out here doing dumb shit. But I've heard y'all
just in time.
But I hear y'all say that the cops are dirty. All the cops are dirty. Blah 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 blah. Except you, Danny. You're the only good one, and that's bullshit. The same way Uche, and it seemed like LB was co-signing everything he was saying about that same energy. These people, there's hundreds and thousands of cops out here trying to do the right thing, but y'all pick this 10 or 12 or 15 or 30, whatever how many it is, and then classify the whole thing. So if you get the same energy to defend the federal government, why can't you have that same energy to defend the cops? Because all the cops ain't corrupt. All the cops ain't dirty. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that black people are not on the short end of the stick for us getting shot and killed. You'll never hear me say that. But all cops ain't dirty. The media is feeding y'all this stuff, well, us this stuff. Some of it's true, but some of it is trying to paint the narrative and force to say, look, cops are dirty, cops are dirty. That's bullshit.
They put out what sells papers, Danny. You know that.
I'm just saying, there was a lot of energy last week defending federal government people and the FBI and that kind of stuff.
I wasn't on board that.
Nobody didn't object to it.
I call a spade a spade. When they get bite, we bring it to your perspective.
I played the clip. Nobody objected to it.
Let me speak for myself since I'm here. Uche, he ain't here, so he can't. I'm not gonna speak for him. But first of all, Danny, I feel like I'm being bullied tonight. Is this what the O.O.C is about when you're around? No. Bullying.
Danny, come on, you with a vengeance, boy.
Like man.
What's this? Die Hard 5?
I don't know if I want to be on here anymore. I feel attacked.
No, bro.
By a fellow brother.
You feel attacked. You feel attacked. And every week I come in here, I gotta sit here and see another clip where some dumbass cop did something. And the only point I'm saying is that you can't judge the 15, 20, whatever clips, whatever it is. You can't judge all the cops by that. That's the only point I'm saying. And I'm from a unique perspective. I'm black and I'm a cop, so I see both sides.
Side note, like I'm gonna continue my deflection before I directly address this. But like
Okay.
I never actually listened to myself on streams and videos, so I thought I sounded good there for a second. Got me feeling kind of hot. Or is that because I'm being bullied? I don't know, bro. But hey, I fully see what you're saying here. But I'm going to, if I can disagree without you, threatening to hurt me, because I feel threatened tonight.
I did not threaten to hurt you.
I look, I'm just saying, bro. Y'all hear it. It's on here. Y'all can hear it. Where when we were talking about the federal government, like I feel like there are more examples of bad policing versus federal government. So like even throughout my lifetime, like and like when I was mentioning that, like when people talk about how all government are bad, it's like, man, y'all are just saying this because of straight ignorance. Like you don't pay attention to anything that's going on. Like you just, government's bad because someone said government is bad. Like policing, like we actually see what's going on out there. So that's why I would say there's a difference. But I can see your point of view. I can see your point of view on this.
I appreciate that.
Well,
bro.
I personally have never said all cops are bad. We always talk about the bad ones, but I've always said I don't think all cops are bad. I've never thought that in my life. Never have. I just think that sometimes when the shit happens, we got to show it out on the show. You know what I mean? But other than that, like there was a cop the other day on my street, with the radar, with the gun. And as I walked by, she was like, hi. And I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, trying to catch speeders. And she was like, yep. And kept it pushing. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, you want us to believe that all cops are bad, and look what you're doing to me tonight. Look how you're treating me.
Really, LB. You can put this back. There was no threat. I had energy in my defense.
Yes, you've had energy, and we've seen what energy happens with cops. Like I'm lucky we're not in the same room right now.
Really.
Oh shit.
I'm protected by my cable modem right now.
Okay.
Wow.
There was one brother on here about a month ago. I think Roberto and Nzo's friend. He talked going back to, what cops were come from. They were slave captains. Really, bro?
Now, overall, I don't want to speak for Nzo and Roberto, but I feel like when I see you in the chat, it's more so of a teasing you thing with the cops thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
I
have no.
easy to pull that hair,
I have no animosity. Towards y'all. I'm just stating that
absolutely,
out of the four of us on this panel, I have a unique perspective because I am your brothers in life and on this channel. I know what we're going through, but at the same time, I don't know a racist cop personally. I'm not saying that some in my midst don't exist, but they have not exhibited in front of me because I got a little bit of power where I work at, and that shit ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
not on my watch. Yeah.
Absolutely, brother. I really appreciate your perspective on this side of thing, and when you can speak on it. That's why I wish you was like on the panels more when stuff gets talked about, because you have your side to explain this situation.
In 2 years, bro, I can retire, and you're gonna see a whole different Danny.
Get inside news.
I kind of got
inside scoop.
I kind of got
so
what you're trained, so to speak. Now I gotta be careful how I say stuff and pick my battle.
So what you're trying to tell me is in 2 years I need to go into witness protection.
No, I'm gonna on these things I can really talk and tell you what some of these knuckleheads are doing and what I really think, but I can't say stuff now. Because if we get back, then that could put me in a bad light, and I can't afford that this close to the finish line.
Yeah.
And I have to say honestly, LB, yeah, go on witness protection because Danny has friends in the feds and all that shit. You know what I mean? He could track your IP address.
I ain't got that kind of clout, but I got some. In South Carolina, I'm a pretty tough
till you
man,
need
but
to, Danny. Not till you need to.
You're gonna be seeing the Danny Identity trilogy, bro.
I wish I was bad as born. If I was bad as born, I would be bad, buddy.
All right, guys. So we got a few topics to talk about. We got some decent ones. There's one that we didn't really touch into last week, which was the Brittany Garner stuff, going to jail for 9 years. Right? We all know the story about that. Some of us think it's not worth 9 years for what she did. But the one thing that I really wanted to talk about, and did we talk about this last week?
You did. That's Trump try to get back into the White House card. That's all that is.
It's political, 100%.
I guarantee you, if he get cleared all these charges, and this is just my strong opinion, he's gonna go there and get her out because him and Putin got some kind of relationship. Then she's gonna be forced or feel ingratiated or feel grateful enough to support him. Look, the sitting president, he couldn't get me out once President-elect Trump came in there. I came home, and then that's gonna. I ain't gonna say it's gonna sway enough votes for him to win, but it's gonna sway some votes in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
If he did it, absolutely.
If he did it, yeah.
But did you guys hear about what Joe Rogan said?
I didn't.
All right, so Joe Rogan weighs in on the Brittany Garner story. He says, Garner, already been over there for months, but here's what's important. People are freaking out about this, right? They're freaking out. Russia needs to let her go. We have people in America right now locked up for marijuana, and they're being locked up for fucking years, for years and years. There's no one there. There's no one. There's thousands of them. So what? They're not good at throwing a ball into a net? Is that what it is? They're not good at the one thing that we like to watch, so those fucking people don't get out? Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan's an idiot. That's the dumbest
shit
I've ever heard.
But he's got a point, Danny.
What is he trying to say? Like, exactly? Because
he's trying to say that there's some people doing very hard time for minimal amounts of marijuana in their own fucking country.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. So
that's what he's saying. Maybe I took it different. I don't know.
No, sounds like that's what you're saying to me. Go ahead, Danny.
I can tell you firsthand, marijuana is a joke now in the United States, unless you got a shit.
It is now, Danny. But look, what's his name? There's a couple of football players trying to get reparation for the time that they lost money for the marijuana. Ricky Williams, all these guys coming out the woodworks trying to get money they lost. But listen, I don't agree with that. It was illegal then. You broke the law. You got to do what you got to do. Now that it's legal, don't give you a fucking green card. All the shit you committed back in the day, marijuana related, is all washed out now because it's legal. That doesn't make sense.
This is my issue with Joe Rogan and his statement is, okay, there's laws being changed around the country. People are getting released and for these charges nationwide. And not only that, bro, he spent the whole entire presidential election talking all this noise about Joe Biden and the Democrats and whatever. And now you talking this nonsense. Like, bro, if you really cared about all these people that are locked up for weed, you wouldn't be catering to the right side of the country where that part of the political spectrum ain't trying to let people out for weed. So what are you talking about, bro? You're part of the problem here.
That's just stupid.
Hold on. On another subject, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
That woman that didn't win in the U.S. there, what's her story? Because is she good or bad? I don't understand. I'm confused, man.
Okay. So Liz Cheney, right? Do you remember Don Cheney, the vice president under Bush?
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Okay. Yeah.
That's his daughter. She was
Oh, really?
Yeah. So essentially, she is real conservative, like conservative to the bone. She voted with Trump like 94% of the time.
Against everything.
She was with him. She was with Trump.
Him against whatever Trump was voting against, right?
Yeah, she was with Trump all the way until January 6th in the election. So that's when she turned on Trump. And that's when her state, Wyoming, They're just like, yo, we're
Turned
done
on
with
her.
you. Yeah, like it's like,
What does
bruh,
that say? What does that say?
like
Now I got it. Now I got it.
like it's crazy. Like I was watching CNN and like they was interviewing some people, right? That's from there. And they're like, oh, Liz Cheney's a liberal. She's went too far left, and this is like, she's not left at all, bruh. Like she's all the way conservative. It's like, bruh, this country's something else.
Now I got insight because I was confused.
Yeah.
I think I posted something like promoting her when I was like, hold on, isn't this woman fucked up? I don't know, man. What's up? What's going on there?
Yeah, bro. Like real talk, bro. Like I don't support her on none of her politics, bro. But like on this here, like I'm with her all the way, bro. She's like, look, bro. I don't care if I lose. Like I'm sticking to my morals and my integrity here. Like I'm not going to play politics just to win an election and lie to you all. That's essentially what she did.
Respect
like,
that.
You know,
Respect to that.
She's like, yeah, so what if I lose? I'm sticking to the truth. I'm not going to lie to you just to win. I'm with that. I wish more people were like that, man.
Yep. Sorry to change the subject, but I just had to ask, you know?
No problem. It is what it is. That's what we do over here. But, yes. So you were saying, LB, about the Joe Rogan stuff? You think he's... I was speaking fast.
Holy fuck, Speedy, that was up in this mofo. I should have smoked that weed. I was like, what?
Yeah, what I was saying is, yeah, so, Roberto, you said you kind of agree with what Joe Rogan said?
No, I hear what he's saying. It's not across the board all across the U.S. because each state has their own laws regarding marijuana, some more harder than others, because I know I was smoking weed in New York, and when I found out the punishment there, I was like, are you fucking crazy? You know? Like, I would never in my right mind do that knowing the law in New York regarding that shit at the time. But now it's all over the place.
Man. I wonder if Joe Rogan got daughters, because any father...
No, I don't think he does.
Got their daughter stuck over there in Russia, which is known across the whole continent, not continent, but the whole planet, as being one of the roughest places to live there. And you know the prisons, and you don't know whether your daughter is
even worse
proper food, or you don't know whether she's getting raped. I mean, if that was my daughter, I'd be going out of my mind now. So
can I just say this?
I don't want to hear nothing he got to say, because I don't care if she put a ball in the damn basket or can throw the ball, and it ain't like the WNBA is fucking popular. I mean, like, really? Right. Why are you even
doesn't matter? Doesn't matter if she's in the WNBA or not. My point, I don't agree with the comparison, Danny. I'm just talking on that comment that he made regarding the harsh penalties towards marijuana back in the day. That's all I agree with. But making a comparison with her, no. They're two different sports.
Yeah, what he's saying, he's speaking about, like you said, laws from the past. I can tell you right now, if you stop somebody unless they got like an insane amount, they're gonna get the ticket and be on their way. I've seen it, because the judges don't want to pursue it, because the jails are filled up. Is so close to being legalized in most of the United States. It's ridiculous. So why are you going to do all that, and then 6 months from now, I mean, they fighting it off here in my state, but they ain't gonna fight off ever. Just like same sex, they fought that. I mean, man, they fought that and fought it. Shit, about 3 years ago. Sorry.
Sooner or later, you can't fight it anymore. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing with marijuana, right? Because now you're seeing countries like us here in Canada legalizing it. You got some states over there that have it legalized. So at this point, like, what's the big deal, you know? But my question is, all the people that were locked up like for a gram, for like, you know, maybe even a 3.5 of weed, are they getting out now?
I don't know if they're getting out, but I know they probably like reaching like plea agreements or getting probation. They're not getting hammered like they did years ago.
Yeah,
they're getting hammered now for these damn this meth, this cocaine, and them heavy. Nah, yeah, your ass, you gonna get some time for that.
Like I mean, obviously it's 50 states here, but so it's like I know a lot of different states like that. What was it, expunging or something, like releasing people that's been in prison for this type of stuff. I know President Biden early on in the year he pardoned a bunch of people for like non-violent drug related convictions and stuff like. So like it's happening,
Yeah.
Like man, Joe Rogan just be talking out the side of his neck sometimes.
Expungement, like if let's say for instance you get charged with it, but then let's say okay, if you don't keep your nose clean for 2 or 3 years, you don't get no trouble. You go through what they call PTI, and that's pretrial intervention for adults. It's called juvenile arbitration if you're 17 and below. If you go through that program and pay the fee, whatever, then your record can be expunged. So it won't prevent you from possibly getting a job or going to the armed forces or something like that. They'll give you that, but that's only one time. You get that one get out of jail free card. After that.
That Dandelion a question.
Which one?
On the so glad to be in Canada, where we actually believe in freedoms and human rights. Mostly,
really, Dandelion.
Is that mostly in reference to Quebec? Because we got a freedom and human rights to show you a little later. That's why I want to know if that mostly means Quebec, because we ain't got no freedoms and human rights over here.
So now we have this.
So y'all in Quebec. I don't know why I think y'all saying in Montreal.
Montreal is the biggest major city in Quebec.
Okay, yeah. Montreal and so it's Quebec,
like Dallas,
Canada.
Texas.
Okay, so Montreal and Quebec are two different cities.
Montreal's right? In Quebec. Quebec is the state. Montreal is the capital.
Okay, now I got it.
Mm-hmm. And now we had this thing here. Roberto sent me this today, and I know he said he wanted to discuss this a bit.
I'll translate for you, Danny. I'll translate for you.
Bring it up.
Yeah, that's gonna set that song today. I'm like, what? All I heard was blood clot. The rest of that stuff was like, I'm like, man,
that's gonna crack me up. This is for Daddy, also Roberto. I said, Daddy don't know this shit.
I was trying to look for the caption to see whether or not they can have the words go with it. I sent y'all a song that I could understand.
Yeah, we see the one you could understand.
My best friend loved that song, man. He committed suicide in the military. So I always love that song.
Sorry to hear that, bro. What happened to my shit?
Hold on, it's coming. No, it was going to the wrong screen for some reason, but let me bring it up here.
Oh hell, like damn, Robbie the redneck.
You got to hear racism in another language.
Yeah, it's coming. You can just look at bruh and you know it's coming.
I can tell him, boy. He looked like it.
You know?
Reeks cheap beer and racism.
Basically, he's telling him to go back to his country.
You talking to black people?
Indians.
Damn.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
In front of their own house.
Call the police. Chrissy, call the police.
Sorry.
So he French, huh?
Yeah. That Bill 96 shit.
They'll tell you to go home. They won't tell us to go home. Because you're the ones who are yelling at us. You're yelling at them on their property.
You see that? You see that, Danny? That he's basically saying, speak to me in my language. This is my country.
Yeah, you can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You can shut the fuck up. Who are you?
So he's going French and English, huh?
Go along back to where you belong.
Yeah. That's how they do it over here, Donnie, though. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Tell you what, now he has.
Now this woman comes on and regulates him in his own language, and he turns on her.
So you know what's funny about this? Someone in my comments the other week was talking about, tell me one racist thing Trump said, and I posted a quote in relation to like that whole "go back to your country" thing. I'll say they love to tell people that ain't white to go back to their country. And he's like, that's not racist. I'm like,
Facts.
oh, when something racist happens, that always comes out of their mouth. Go back
Hold
to
on,
your
LB.
country.
What about at his rally when that black girl was getting slapped around and pushed around, and he said back in the day she couldn't do that. You remember when Trump did that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he told
that
Asian lady too about the China flu. Your people's
the
China virus.
I can say this: he's bold-faced, man.
Hey, he don't care.
Sure.
Man,
you're
not gonna change your racist. Said he's something. You're a white man. You ain't. You ain't.
Right. But like this is what they do, bruh. Like, go back to your own country. Like, bruh, this ain't your country, bruh.
There's only one. Country. You ever heard of CPLS?
CPLS? No, what's that?
In the 70s, he was like the exalted Cyclops, like the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. And then he became friends with Ann Atwater, who was like a black civil rights activist. And they were trying to vote like on segregation. They did a movie on it. It's CP with Taraji P. Henson. It's called The Best of Enemies.
I know the movie.
10 days,
never seen
at the 10th, man, you need to watch that movie. She broke his ass down. He became a civil rights activist. He almost threw him out of his town. He's a grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, hey man, even Saigi said it before. Like she's talked to some racists and she said she changed her mind and stuff like that. It's possible, but like LB said, man, they like to tell us go back to your country, and I always say, hey, I'm Canadian. Like they can't tell me to go back to my country. From Nova Scotia, my family has been in Canada since the 1800s. So where the fuck am I going? You know what I mean?
Country, bruh.
You know what I mean? I tell half of them.
I said I already been. I didn't like it. I've seen Africa before. Set foot on it. It's okay to visit, but I ain't lost nothing over there.
Hey,
what part of Africa you went to, bro?
I went to the coast, the East Coast. I can't think of the actual, but we went on a military. Didn't get to stay there long, but like I said, everywhere I went to, I set foot on it. So I've seen it, set foot on it.
But
beautiful ass women. But
for sure.
I couldn't get back on the ship.
Like, were you in like the country part, or were you like in the city when you went there? Then?
Oh, the country part. We wasn't like in. We were like on the coast. So when the ship pull up, we get to go deep into the country.
You got to see the city. There's this Netflix show on Netflix called Young, Rich, and African. Yo, Africa is fucking beautiful, bro. Yo, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It is, and
they got these people over there, too many animals for me, bro.
Maybe, but they flossing over there, though, bro. I'm looking at this like, yo, they flossing over there in Africa. No word of a lie, they flossing over there.
But you know why? Because that's where all the fucking diamonds are at.
The what? The what?
Diamonds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got diamonds and gold and ivory and all that shit over there. You be flossing too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went to Egypt. It was cool out there.
A lot of people say they should go back to Africa, but go to Africa.
I was on Western Africa.
All right, so let's see what else happens in this video here.
Chrissy, call the police.
See, now she's telling him to get out of here.
He's telling her to go in her house. He's telling everybody where to go. Like this guy's a fucking life traffic guard.
I didn't insult you at all. You're the one yelling at the car, backing up.
I tell you, white people
Chrissy,
sometimes.
Call the police. You have to call the police. Call them. Call them.
And you see, living here in Canada, right, and especially here in Quebec,
call them. Tell them we're being harassed in front of our house.
I can tell you this.
And if we're black, we get that type of talk. You know what I mean?
You speeding up again, Nzo.
Go ahead.
If I was maybe on his property, he might would have a chance. But if I'm in my yard, and he come there talking that shit. I'm having a report. I felt threatened.
Facts. Facts. Go ahead, guys.
You get two to his upper. You can get two to his upper torso, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. I know, guys. Give me a sec. Talk, guys, talk.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And he just walking by and he saw them, start talking shit to him.
They were probably talking English. He walked by and he said probably, like they say all the time, "Ça c'est Quebec," meaning this is Quebec. That's their badge, that they're French. And if you want to be here, you better speak that language. I'm just waiting because, I mean, I said it last week that the guy that we hired to put up our fence used that same fucking shit on my wife. I was in the house. But at the time I came out, he wasn't speaking that harsh French to me. He was speaking French that I understood, being I'm English, right? I said, yeah, put the fence over there, whatever. I don't want to get all violent and have to have my neighbors watching. I had to keep everything legit, you know? But there's, like I said, they're getting brave, Danny. When you put these laws in, they feel empowered and they get a little more mouthy. Mm-hmm. And they feel like they're bold-faced and they can just walk up to anybody, but they know how to choose their victims because they didn't sound like they had very much.
I intend on coming there one day, so I just hope I ain't come.
We got your back, bro.
I don't. Is Canadian jails pretty tough?
Yeah, depends which one you end up in.
Damn,
no. And to be honest with you, Danny, just make sure even if you come when you're retired, just bring your badge and say, "Hey, I'm an officer of the law." You'll be good. They won't mess with you.
Oh, I don't know about that. The last thing you want to do is go inside. Last thing you want to do is go inside and say you're a cop.
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, no. I mean, if the not if he went inside. I mean, if the cops like stopped him, you just have to tell him he's a brother in the States, and
the
cops
4 or
have that
5
kind of
clubs.
Yeah, they have that kind of respect for other police officers.
Oh shit! Sorry, you're a police officer. You said. Sorry, I didn't. You know the reflex officer.
Well, see,
Daddy, I saw that in the States that black sergeant, or he was a fucking, what's the main guy that runs the whole precinct?
Depends on like the chief, or it could be like a desk sergeant.
Well, then he's the chief. He was driving an undercover car, and he got pulled over by a regular cop car, and this guy pulled his gun on him, not knowing that this guy was a chief. And even when he came out in his uniform, he still gave him attitude.
Oh yeah,
did you see that video?
Some of them won't stop, man. I was telling y'all to watch shit. What was it? The Equalizer. Like this was a detective, big time NYPD detective. Went to one of the little hick towns, man, was getting gas, and 2 little cops, they thought he fit the description. And he told, man, y'all don't know who I, and he's about to show him his badge, man. Them suckers. They clocked him over his head. Then they took him to this abandoned school. They kidnapped that sucker, man. He had to kill one of them, fight for his life to get done with it. That was a crazy episode, man. So yes, so many people, man.
Yeah, I guess I'm going fast again.
You're still fucked up. I think you better chill out on them videos for a minute.
You want to go out or come back in?
No, still trying to share.
LB got spooked by that French.
I think it's still trying to share a video. That's why. Can you guys hear me though?
Oh, so now you're saying play this and he'll come back?
LB, I was attacking him. I'm like, damn, bro.
You was, bro.
There he is.
So I had to go get some
that's her lawyer.
No, that's That's the reporter or whatever for the show.
Yeah.
So I bet y'all did this last week.
The video. No, we didn't do this one last week. I'll play it up.
Young Brianna Grier in the state of Georgia was traveling in the back seat of a
Ain't happening, Nzo.
It's coming.
deadly squad car. Somehow handcuffed, going through a mental health episode. She ends up dying from falling out of the car, according to the official story from the sheriff's office. Let me bring you the update to the disturbing body cam footage that has now been released. Here are the moments.
Some fucked up
I'm
shit.
not drunk. I haven't had anything to drink.
Come on, you're gonna be told fucking drunk. Come on.
I haven't had anything to. No, you can give me bring your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer.
So what?
Ah! Bring out your breathalyzer. Bring out your breathalyzer.
Grab.
Ah! Get out of me!
Now you can get charged.
Get out of me!
You get charged. Oh, where are you gonna walk? Grab her.
Get out of me! I ain't broke no law. I ain't broke no law. Get out of me! I bet you I hate myself as soon as I get in there. I bet you I hate myself as soon as I get in there. I don't care. It's more the way, one way to kill yourself. I know what you told me. It's more the
If you guys have anything to say, talk to me.
That wasn't cool, bruh.
one way to kill yourself. No.
Brianna, get up and walk.
No.
Come on.
Y'all better knock me out. And I got
Damn.
I got a flint I sting in my heart.
Come on, bro.
No, why my brother?
I know how to get up.
Take me. You can
See
take
that
me.
big ass
You can
bruise
take
on her
me.
leg? Oh, that's from tasing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care.
Get up.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't care. 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 I don't care.
Wait, Roberto. Wait. Gets worse.
Put up a picture. I have more video. I want to remind you that this was a 911 call for a mental health emergency. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Her parents that called the police, they were hoping that she would receive medical attention, not be arrested. They simply wanted her to have a healthy opportunity to heal. That's it. They never wanted her to go to jail. They never reported a criminal incident. They reported a mental health issue. And everyone responded but a mental health professional.
And there's
She was
more.
found alongside the road where officers attempted to wake her. Here's that video.
Brianna. Hell yeah. Brianna. That shit unlocked by itself.
You won't call that money.
She's still breathing. Go ahead.
Show you something. Go.
She getting up. She all right. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up. Go ahead. Sit up. Take the cuffs off. Sit her up. Sit up. Sit up, Brianna. You're all right.
Goddamn.
You got some water?
No, here, no.
Hey, she jump at the car. Don't supposed to be unlocking the back.
Shit, man.
We just do a report. She fine. She just down from which car. How your back door? But that's we write a report and just say, you know, like you said, you got it. Back door.
They don't know they have a camera.
But we good. Brianna, come on, this Deputy Prime. Come on.
I got nothing to call no water. No
Don't worry about it. She fine. Oh, I got a little bit. Hold it right here. Hold it right here. I got a little water. I just give it a little.
Bro.
These sick SOBs are already coming up with their cover story. They are insensitive to the reality of her mental health condition. They never should have been the ones responding to this in the first damn place. She gets airlifted to Grady Hospital, which is miles away from Sparta, Georgia. She's dead. Questions still loom. We saw a woman going through a mental health crisis, handcuffed, being thrown into a police car by insensitive, negligent deputies. So all of a sudden, back doors of police cars are allowed to be open from the back seat? Did you provide a setting change that allowed this to happen? Did you not close the door when you took off intentionally? I have questions. Why is she dead? Put up a picture again. Why does she look like this days later?
Can I speak on this? Because I handle this in my profession, at my job. I agree with what the guy said. Cops are not mental health professionals. We are not trained in how to deal with that. They give us basic classes and stuff, but we don't go to school to learn how to handle and treat these mental patients. But we are often called all the time, and some of the time, I'm not saying in this instance, I don't know all of the facts, but a lot of times we tell the family what we can do. In this particular situation here where I work at, if you have a person that is having mental issues and showing or exhibiting signs or they're going to hurt themselves or possibly someone, the first thing we tell them to do, and this is by law, this is the law. You must go to the mental health facility in your jurisdiction, your town, your city, wherever you live at, and you must make a report. That mental health person will do a report. It's called an affidavit. You write what the person is doing, what you saw, how you feel, all that stuff. Then you give it to a probate judge. The probate judge then writes a pickup order. With the pickup order, then we in law enforcement, that's where we get involved at. We go to where the person is located at, and we use just enough force to pick them up and take them to the hospital. Once at the hospital, they are getting evaluated, and the doctor will determine whether or not they're sane or insane, need medical treatment, whatever. He asks them certain questions. If they pass the questions, then they're released. They go back home. If they're not, then they get orders to go to a mental facility, wherever they're at, and then we have to transport them. Now, the law says the family can transport them, but most of the times, law enforcement transport the individual to the mental health facility. Now, in law enforcement's defense, not these cops, but in law enforcement defense, If we go out to a call, and let's say someone's acting, we call it altered mental state, and this person is fighting, you can't reason with somebody that's out there. For whatever, you can't reason with somebody. So if that person is trying to come to you in an aggressive manner, we are trained to act accordingly. Just because you're crazy, a crazy person can kill, or an altered mental state person can kill someone. You, me, whatever. If we can articulate that, look, this mental person pick up the knife. The guy that I shot was altered mental state, crazy. He already tried to kill cops in New York. Earlier cop. He came at me with a knife. I ain't got no time to try to sit there and try to reason with him and try to. I did what I had to do to protect myself. Now in this particular case, them leaving the door open, I don't have no explanation for that. I don't, like I said, I don't know this fully, but I can tell you, and a lot of times, and more times than not, the family members are told what steps and processes needed to do to take care of this person and to get the person treatment correctly. Law enforcement is not the person to call if you don't take those steps, because they articulate or can show on their body camera, hey, this person coming at me in an aggressive manner. You're trained to use enough force to subdue that person. That sometimes that means handcuffs. I mean, sometimes you be thrown to the ground. I mean, sometimes you may be what people perceive to be rough. Now, at no point in this particular scenario, I don't see where this woman should have got killed. The door being open, that's negligent. But like I said, in my instance, and I'm on YouTube, you can watch it. This guy came in with a butcher knife, so I had to do what I had to do. So I agree with what the guy said, the reporter. Cops are not mental health facility people. They should not be called to regular stuff. But more times than not, cops are called to any and every situation that somebody can't handle. And a lot of times we aren't trained in that. We're not trained in if a child is acting up, sit there and be a child counselor. No. You go to DJJ, Department of Juvenile Justice, they're trained in that. And we can't really act on certain things like mental people if they're not exhibiting signs of hurting themselves or someone else. Just because you can't handle them, we just can't take them because they still got rights. But if you have a court order, that what empowers the law enforcement officer to do what he or she needs to do.
Gotcha. Any thoughts, Roberto?
If there's a question to Danny, if a call is made, there's a robbery, and dispatch sends one car over, and when you guys reach there, you notice that the guys there's maybe 10 or 15 of them. They're very heavily armed. You're undermanned. Like if you shoot, they'll rip your car into cheese. Mm-hmm. Like you'll call backup, and maybe they'll send SWAT or they'll send somebody to battle on that level with the guys that are there. Yes, so why isn't there another cross for that where you guys arrive and you see it's a mental health issue, it's beyond your means, you could call DJ or DOJ, whatever you call it, or somebody along those lines to intervene so you guys don't get involved and get, bad-faced.
That's a very good question. And I can tell you exactly why. Because cops work 24/7. We don't get days off. We on standby. So if we call, we're going to react. We are mandated to respond in a certain amount of time. Those DJJ people and deal and other entities, at 5 o'clock, they go home. A lot of them live, and I know I'm at 30, 40 minutes away. You come at 2 o'clock at night, they're trying to talk themselves out of getting up out the bed and come and get dressed. We're trained. When I get that call, my phone, I got it with me all the time. I get that phone, a certain call, I know to get my ass out of bed, get dressed, and I can get to where I work at in 20 minutes or less. Other people don't have that mandate, or they want to ask you questions or try and talk. Well, you show the person is this, you show the person is that, because they don't want to get their ass out of bed. They don't want to do their jobs. They want to do their jobs in the daytime. Nighttime, they don't want to do their jobs. But that's when the shit happens. 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock at night on the side of the road. When the people that do that kind of stuff, don't want to get up. They want to try and let you talk to the person on the phone. How are you going to let an irrational person talk on the phone? Well, put on FaceTime. That don't work.
No.
But we're out there 24/7. Right now, if I get this phone call,
you guys should have access to a division or something along those lines that have the same availability 24/7, because this is a big issue. This hasn't been just sporadically jump up. This has been going on for a long time, and it's like no one seems to really care, and you guys just get bad face all the time, because more times than not, those people are violent. They're not taking their meds, and you know the outcome is fucking sad.
That's why cops get into trouble, because we get called to things that we aren't particularly been equipped to handle or been trained to handle, or now when the stuff happens, it's too late. But we're trained to eliminate threats. Protect and serve and eliminate threats. But then when somebody comes and we articulate this person's coming in an aggressive manner, and we fear for our lives, then that's when we get blasted on CNN. Oh, see, there's another one. But you don't know all the backstory. Now, again, my disclaimer: I am not sitting here defending some of this bullshit that I've seen, because some of these cops is full of shit, and they need their livelihood. They don't need to carry a badge. The thing with George Floyd, they had no excuse. I'm not even. But some of this stuff, you got to know the whole story before you got there with the pitchfork and the lighters ready to skin the cop alive. Because I can tell you, we got this. There's one person lived beside cops. Two people, one of them work under me. The neighbor, I mean, she'd come to their house, knock on the door, come naked, just harassing. They've been arrested about 6-7 times, took them in the facility. So how much is this cop supposed to take? But she's not. The camera's clearly seeing what this woman is doing.
You see, what my problem with this video is the way they acted after she fell out the fucking car. Like they're tapping her, get up, come on, get up. You know what I mean? This girl just fell out of your car
and they know how fast they were going. We don't know how fast they were going, but they know how fast they were going.
They were trying to get this story together. I mean, yeah, man, the cameras, they will save your butt, but they will
get you in trouble.
They'll crucify you if you do stupid stuff, and they did stupid stuff.
Oh yes, they did.
Because we got another one. Watch this one.
Randy Cox was at a block party when New Haven police arrived in response to a weapons complaint. Officers arrested Cox, who they say is an ex-felon and was carrying a firearm illegally. As they were transporting him to jail, authorities say Officer Oscar Diaz was speeding and came to a sudden stop to avoid an accident. As a result, Cox's head is slammed against the back of the van, which had no seatbelt.
I can't hear you. Hello.
Despite Cox's repeated calls for help, it took the officer almost 4 minutes to check on him.
Can you move at all?
I can't move.
Before calling an ambulance to meet him at the police station. When the van arrived, several other officers were waiting and began berating Cox to get out.
Move your leg. Sit up.
Why are you not listening, bro?
Sit up.
I can't move.
You're not even trying.
About 3 minutes later, they dragged Cox feet first out of the van.
What's going on? Huh?
You ain't cracking. You just drink too much.
Before officers forcefully hoisted him into a wheelchair.
Sit up.
Cox is processed and dragged into a holding cell about 10 minutes after the van arrived at the station.
He's perfectly fine. You want to put these on him? Yeah.
He was placed on the floor where an officer shackled his legs, but he couldn't move as he was paralyzed from the chest down.
Mr. Cox was mistreated. He should have received medical attention immediately. We can't defend anything that was
paid leave pending an investigation. This morning, Cox remains hospitalized in intensive care. Cox's sister, LaToya Boomer, says she just couldn't finish watching the footage of how officers treated her brother.
It made me sick to my stomach. To treat somebody like that, at what point in time do you believe someone that's saying, I think my neck is broke?
That's it. thoughts? LB, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, this is all sad and tragic, and like something seriously needs to get done. Like, I hear what Danny's saying, like Roberto's saying. It's just like, man, I don't know what needs to be done. Like when these kind of things happen, like Danny said, like police officers ain't trained for it. So it's like, what, man? It's like I'm speechless right now, bro. This is like seeing
My
back to
thing is,
back.
where is the compassion? You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, where's the compassion? You see the way they were dragging the man all around the place, like, fuck it. And then talk about he's drunk. You just had the man standing up there and arrested him for some gun charges. There was no talk about him being drunk. He didn't look like he was staggering or anything there. But after he gets in the truck and comes out, he's staggering. He's drunk now. Like, where does that even come from?
I could say this much here. If there's an accident or there's something in an event where someone's hurt, the fire truck has to come.
Mm-hmm.
The cops cannot touch that person.
Yeah.
The fire truck and the ambulance have to come and assess the problem. They can't touch them because they can be held liable. If you move me and I have hit my neck and I'm crippled now, I'm suing the city, yo.
Yeah. That's very sad.
And it's not all cops. It's not all cops, Danny.
Oh no.
Spade is spade. I'm just saying, It's fucked up for you to sit here and have to watch this shit all the time. Because I wouldn't want to sit here and watch my profession be scrutinized and all that, knowing that this is a very small percentage, but the media shows this, and because of the stigma, you ask anybody on the street if they like a cop, more times than not, they're gonna say they hate the cops. You don't even really ask them why. It's just a stigma,
Yeah, I agree with that. And in this particular clip, my heart goes out to that family, that man. The law enforcement organization is definitely going to get sued because they should have had seatbelts in there. They should have had something on there. The guy was speeding, so several infractions. But this is something, and I don't want y'all to think I'm trying to belittle this, nothing. But I think cops, just like some parts of like the president, for instance, you can only run 2 terms. Maybe cops should only work a certain amount of years and they got to get forced out, because I'm telling you, cops get desensitized and because they always see the worst part of humanity, and you get very cynical. Like you don't want to hang around with nobody but cops because you speak the same language. I know now if I go to a store, man, I'm always looking. If I see something to me that don't quite look right, I make sure I look at it so I can get a description of the person, height, weight, whatever. So if something goes wrong, I can say, yeah, I saw that person and he had on this, and this. If I get that like spider sense thing, I guess to call it whatever, I always make a mental note in my mind to pay attention. And that's just from all my years of training. And it's just, you just see a lot. Sometimes you see a lot of negative stuff, and you gotta actually make a mind look. I can't do this. I can't think this guy's always this, and this. But at the same time, you got to be on your guard because you got some individuals out there that don't give a damn about the gun and the badge, and they'll try and hurt you. So it's kind of like you got to balance it. Yeah, you got to show humanity, but then at the same time, you got to be on your guard because sometimes those suckers, they see a break, they'll try and hurt you. But what I always try to do, the older I get in law enforcement, I always say when somebody's doing something, what if that was my grandson? What if that was my son? What if that was my daughter? So I try to look at it that way, because in the laws over here, they got a misdemeanor for a crime and usually got a felony. So you don't have to always take that sledgehammer and not kill the mosquito. If you can help somebody, I try to help them because I want somebody to help my kids. But sometimes you can't help them because there are 2 words in the laws over here. There is you may do something and you must do something. If it say must, then your ass got to do what it say. If the law say you may, then that's when you get a little wiggle room and then you can try and help some people. But this right here was total negligence. They should have had a seatbelt. They should have had them seatbelt in the car. The officer speeding, that ain't good. So they gonna wear that. That's a few million there, buddy.
What about the time? What about while he's lying there saying he can't get up, he can't move? You could hear him clear as day, and then the cop says, "I can't hear you."
Yeah,
Come on, man.
That's just I'm telling you what it is. You get so
like you get numb. I hear you.
You get so numb, and I ain't saying it's an excuse, a good excuse or the right thing. It's definitely
It
not.
happens so much that they cry wolf.
That's right. We call it. You know what they call it? Jailitis. Oh, you got jailitis.
So my thing
is,
I'm sorry. Like you mentioned, like police officers should have like I guess term limits or whatever. So my thing is, are officers having like wellness checks? Like, do they go to therapy or anything to help them go through this type of stuff?
On major violent things, you offer therapy. But like normal, they always talk about how you decompress, and it's called what's it called? I'm not going through it before. When you on duty, you expect that you need to be at like a very heightened state of knowing your surroundings, paying attention, show your A game. When you at that level all day for 8 hours or 12 hours, when you come home, man, you crash. That's why the law enforcement got such high divorce rates, because my wife done said before, I want the Danny that's at work that's goofing around and laughing and joking and stuff. I get the Danny at home now that's tired. When I come home, man, so I have to make a mental note, man, before I walk in the house. Hey, I got to tap into the reserve and show my wife some energy and stuff. Because if not,
Viagra.
Gonna be a divorce. No, ain't nothing like that. I'm talking about like fucking talking and engaging with her, have date nights, that kind of stuff. Because hey, there's some days like in Nzo, I don't talk Nzo, man. I don't feel like even being on here. I be tired because when you're at work, you gotta be on your A game all the time. Because somebody's always you slip or something, man. Somebody there take your spot. So it's very competitive, and then you got to make quick decisions. Life. Sometimes live or die decisions, man. Or like I'm over 40 something people, and I got to make decisions and then deal with all them different personalities and make sure stuff stay fair. And then sometimes this can be overwhelming. So, like I'm saying, I'm not defending what these dumbass cops are doing, but sometimes it ain't as easy as you think.
No, I agree with you 100%. But let me ask you this, Danny. You're in a situation like that, right? What's your first move? Like, you see the guy, he's like, I can't move. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm calling the EMS. I'm saying, hey,
exactly.
don't touch this guy here. He said he can't eat, can't move. Let's call EMS. EMS can check him out. Then, based on what they tell me, that's when I'll act a certain way. If they say, hey, man, we better get this guy, okay, guys, let's go ahead and help EMS do blah, 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 blah. But if they say, man, he faking or this kind of stuff, then
knee to the back of the neck.
No.
You guys are all waiting like, hut.
What is up, Dandelion? How you doing?
Hey, Dandelion.
What's up, Dandelion?
You're really hard to hear, Nzo. You're cutting out all over the place.
It sounds like your it don't sound like your mic. It sounds like your computer.
Yeah, my mic switched.
Yeah, now you good.
No, it's just I had to switch out my mic. That's all.
Okay.
What's up, Dandelion? How you doing? Brought you on here, and Saiki will be on in a minute for the next topic that we're gonna have, because I think we need some women perspective on this one. It's gonna be.
Yeah, they sound like some Rose versus Wade. It's not Red Rose or something.
It's gonna be interesting. I could show the video now.
You're gonna say Rashad Ritchie? That dude is fierce.
Which one?
Rashad Ritchie on Indisputable.
Oh.
That dude is fierce.
Yeah, I like him. I watch a lot of his stuff. So he's good.
Yeah.
What are you saying, LB?
I watched quite a bit of his show. It's very good.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, me too.
I was just saying
LB?
Dr. Richie. No, that's all I said, Dr. Richie.
Oh, Dr. Richie. Okay. Yeah, he's good. I like him. And
sorry, we're in the chat saying hi. Hi,
Jack. It's okay. So I know. Oh, there she is. Aggie, what's up?
What's up, Aggie?
What's up?
How you doing? In perfect
happened?
timing.
What'd I do?
Oh, we're saying hi.
What'd I do?
You're good.
Don't yell at me, Nzo. What did I do?
Shit, I didn't even yell.
We're all good. It's all good.
What's up?
I didn't even yell. Nothing. You just came in perfect timing because I was going to get into the topic that I figured to have some females on to talk about it, because guys talking about this alone is just like, so let's bring it up. Let me bring up my Twitter real quick. I may log out like I've been doing. You guys just keep talking, but I'll play the video. Okay.
Me.
Yeah, it is you. I gotta go to my profile.
Wait, I only got invited because I have a vagina? What is this?
Really?
Yeah, I know. They didn't invite us on to the earlier topics. They just gave us when they wanted vaginas.
Right? I couldn't talk about the man topics. I only am here because I have a woman's perspective.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks that you guys said that. It's kind of messed up that you guys said that. But I just figured the other topics, might not interest you guys as much. So I figured this one. And
Hey,
this
that's
is
me.
I'd already seen all the videos you showed except for the French dude. So.
Hey, that's me again. Okay, I support this.
Yes.
This.
So let's bring this up to the beginning.
You haven't lost your mind. Don't touch me ever in your life. You touch me first, and then you got in my face. Don't ever invade my personal space.
Get out of my bag!
No, I'm not.
You fucking faggot!
I'm here.
You fucking
I'm here.
butt
I'm
fucking
here.
jack when you
I'm
won't
here.
come in us,
You're
bitch!
touching me again.
You're fucking
You're touching me again.
Get the fuck out of
You're
my face,
touching me
bitch!
again.
It's all
You're
on
touching
purpose,
me.
you
It surely
know?
is.
You touched me.
It's surely, but you in
You
my
your
personal
ugly
space.
ass.
You're in my personal space. You're in my personal space. Stay out of my personal space. She's touching me. She's touching me. And I'm telling you, she can't put her hands on me. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, stop it! Hey!
Don't you ever put your hands on me. No, get the fuck everybody
Bruh.
back off from me. This bitch
not gonna fight that woman, man. No, watch out, man. You ain't gonna fight that woman, bro. You're not gonna fight that woman.
You got the wrong person.
Don't fight that woman, bro.
You got the wrong person. You bitches put my hands on me.
Hey, relax.
I fight whoever. I fight whoever.
Take a deep breath.
Put your hands on me. I fight whoever. Put your hands. I fight whoever. I fight whoever. Knock your bitch ass out. Knock me out. Knock your bitch ass out. Knock me out. Knock me out.
It's okay.
Knock me out.
Wow.
You saw what she did.
Someone's not getting on a flight today.
Oh, they were both blacklisted.
I gotta say,
So that
I could very quickly
go
make
ahead.
a comment. If the whole "am I the asshole?" I think everyone's the asshole here. I think the chick and the dude are both the asshole.
Did she slap him or punch him?
She
I think
slapped.
she slapped him.
She slapped him.
Like
Which was a dumb
both of them being extra, but like
Yeah.
I should have just walked away. Like he ain't
Yeah,
like
you
serious shit,
should-
bro.
You should have walked away because in that scenario, he gonna get painted as can't hit the woman, even though she hit him first. You just gotta walk away from that.
Mads, I love you, Mads.
You gotta walk
See,
away.
I disagree. I'm one of those women who is like legit about equality and equality. I did a video on it actually, where I literally ended my video saying, that not all women think that equality ends with self-defense. I think nobody should be hitting nobody, but a woman especially. If you think you're tough enough to take on somebody, don't matter if it's a man or a woman that's bigger than you, you get what's coming to you. I'm sorry. Like that man in that video, he was refraining. She was pushing him. He didn't do nothing. Another man interjected to kind of silence. He was no longer engaging that woman. He was now engaging that man. That woman continued to push and push and push until she laid hands on him. He wasn't even talking to her at that point anymore. So she went out of her way to smack him. And I'm sorry, but I'm telling you, I don't care. You women sit here and say they want equality. We want equal rights. We want to be seen as equal. But then you ain't equal when you think you can beat on a man, and a man has no right to defend yourself. Not to mention the biggest reason why I had an issue with that video is because of the recent situation with that OnlyFans woman who was a white woman who killed and murdered a black man, and it took 4 months before they realized she was the abuser. They caught video footage of her whooping his ass in the elevator, with him not even landing a finger on her, and then all of a sudden she stabbed him 7 times. Now, if that man put her on her ass, I guarantee you he might still be alive. because he was too afraid to hit her. So and being a black man hit a white woman, you know that how it looks. So instead, he died. And that's never okay. That's why I say I'm sorry, but I disagree. I know y'all men were raised to not put your hands on women, but there's a difference between abuse and protecting yourself. No woman should be hitting you like that and thinking you have no right to hit her back. Y'all don't deserve to be abused. Y'all don't deserve to be abused either. And that's not right.
But Saggy, was that slap threatening his life?
It wasn't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's one thing to be slapped.
That was his ego.
And like that. But if your life getting threatened, yeah, I agree with you 100%. You gonna fight to save your life. Well, slap that man wasn't no danger.
But that's
he
the
was
thing.
embarrassed.
They both should have de-escalated.
But karmic chat, but it always starts with a slap. And then when you and then it gets more slaps, and then you get fists, and then when a man's sitting here, like I said, sitting there, right? Yeah, don't put your hands on nobody, bro.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying they weren't a couple. They're just total strangers.
Yep.
All the more reason. You don't know if that man gonna punch you out. You don't know that.
Look, I've been to that airport. That airport's big enough where he could have went and sat somewhere else in that spirit section and relaxed. Like that. They were both being extra. Like, but all he had to do was just go to the other side of the terminal or whatever, and it's over.
And
cool down. Get a
she
drink.
seemed to kind of be trying to walk away a couple of times, but then she freaking comes back with the
That's exactly my point.
Right?
That was my point, right?
There's a little too much. There's a lot going on there that I think because the recording didn't start, so we didn't see how it started. But really, I mean, in everybody needs to calm down and walk away.
You see, and that's what I said. I said at the beginning, you can see he's up in her face, they're up in each other's face, right? Yeah. Then he tries to walk away. A guy pushes him away. Well, not right. A guy pushes him away, but now she coming at him and slaps him in the face, right? Then he rushes her. She falls, and then he throws a punch and hits her. That is when he should have stopped. Right then and there, he should have been like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I can understand your adrenaline's kicking and stuff like that, and you may react and do something that you're not really thinking of, but at that moment, that's when it's been like, okay, because she didn't fucking bust his nose, she didn't knock out his teeth or anything like that. You know what I mean? So
my only question is,
shame on that brother for letting her
get before they got sardined into the Spirit Airlines flight, or is it after they got sardined out of the Spirit flight?
I'm pretty sure it's before.
No, I'm just kidding. Spirit has a bad reputation.
I'm that type of person. Like I've had that happen before, where I had an ex. We had a crazy ass neighbor who she would never fuck with me, with the boys, because I had roommates, right? She would never talk shit or antagonize the men in the house when I was home. But every time I leave the house, I come home to some stories about how she was coming at them and threatening them and saying all this stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, she never would do that when I'm home, because you know why? Because she knows that if I smack her up, she don't got a case. But if one of them boys smack her up, she got a case. Now, what happened one day is we had enough, like the boys had enough of her bullshit. So my ex went over to his friend's house. She was sitting in the car in the driveway with some dude. He walked by her. She said something to him, and he at that point had enough, because we didn't bother that woman. She was just batshit crazy. So he said something to her. He's like, "What is your problem?" He started saying something to her, and then they got, they had an altercation. They were arguing. She got out the car. She started yelling at him. Then she spit in his face. So she spit in his face, and he struck her. And he called me right away. First of all, he called the police right after. He didn't continue to hit her, but he called the police. And then after that, after the police came and went, that's when he called me and said, yeah, this is what happened. She tried to take him to court. We went to court. We told the story. Court didn't do shit. And the cops knew who this woman was, because she was always calling the cops. And I said, and he felt bad for doing it. I said, listen, she spit in your face. She assaulted you. She we don't know what she got.
Spitting on someone is assault.
Right, that's what
spitting on an assault.
And that's what I said, I know you feel bad, but you know what? She spit in your face. If you didn't knock her ass out and you told me that prior, you came and got me, I would have knocked her ass out. And he did
the Saggy. When she said something to him, if he kept on walking, do you think that would have happened?
Oh, I'm sure eventually, if he kept walking, probably not, because that's what they did for a long time. But there's only so much people can take. You like I said, this woman knew when I was home to not mess with the boys. She never said nothing to me, but she said something to the boys. Anytime I wasn't home, she knew I wasn't home. Anytime the boys left their house, she's saying something. Well, she would call the landlord and lie about them, saying we were selling drugs out the house and stuff. That wasn't happening. She was always trying to start trouble with the boys because she had an issue with the men in the house. But I don't know why. They didn't do nothing, right? But all of a sudden, she gets her big boy pants on when the woman of the house ain't home. And that's what I'm saying. Like women need to understand, like men, just because because they're stronger than us physically, like not, a lot of average women, we ain't that strong, okay? But just because a man is physically bigger than us does not mean you really have any right to go at them like that. Like if you ain't gonna do that to a woman, you shouldn't be doing that to a man. You shouldn't be doing that to anyone. You should walk away too.
See that's my question, right? Because the argument would be, of course, because the men are stronger or whatever, right? But what if it was like Roberto, who's like 300 pounds, me, who's like, I'm me, right? Roberto can bench press me. So if I were to slap Roberto like that, should he walk away from me too? Because he's stronger, he's bigger.
But that's his choice if he wants to take that battle. Listen, I pick and choose my battles. When I get in a fight with men, I always go into that argument or that fight. Yo, this is about to knock me out, bro. I'm ready. I mean, that's true. What are you saying?
No.
When I fight,
yeah, but
I'm about equally strong and men that are about my size, so I feel comfortable in those fights.
I've gotten in fights with men bigger than me. I've gotten in fights with men. I brawled with dudes before because like I was feeling tough that night. And trust me, and the men, thank God, I never got my ass beat. But if I did, I would have been like, that's my own fault. Why am I taking this to this level where I'm getting into a fight, especially a strange man that ain't somebody I'm screwing? If I'm gonna get in a fight with Roberto, right? I gotta get in a fight with Roberto, right? I think I'm tough enough to swing on Roberto. I'm sorry, I'm already expecting to get swung on. I'm telling you, like I already expect that shit, and if I do, I had it coming, man.
You there 1% of women that think like that.
I generally found people don't want to take on redheads.
I just shoot.
They automatically assume you're really angry about shit and just.
That's what I'm saying. I don't fight either. No.
Well, my ex, right? Me and my ex, because obviously women, we get in fights with our men, right? It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and my ex, we got into a fight. He kind of came at me a little rough. I got a little shook, and I swung on him. Like that ass. My instincts took over. I was like, "Bop!" Right?
Anger management, bro.
Yeah, big time.
Just out here swinging on grown men. Like what? Your man must be like 4'10", 110 pounds or something.
It sounds like some roughnecks, boy.
Like I said, I swear to God, I was bored. I was supposed to be a dude or something. I don't know what's going on, but I have that thug mentality. I swear to God, I should have been.
Because
I swung on him. And
I heard Saggy say something on the stream the other day, and I was like, really? You do that?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I got shook. He came at me, so he came at me hard. So I was like, "Yo, boop!" And he actually he hit me back like he just one time, and then he felt bad. I was like, "Boy, I literally hit you first for no damn reason because I just got shook, and you weren't even doing nothing. And I swung on you. You had every right to hit me back." And he felt bad, and I was like, "Dude, bro, don't feel bad. I'm not that kind of bitch, bro.
Yeah, shit, I'm mad. You're gonna be domestic violence.
That's why you gotta go. You gotta go for a shin kick. A shin kick is perfect. It hurts like hell, but doesn't do like long-term damage.
But I would never do that because I also understand that number one, I'm not looking at you like you're a dude and I'm a female. I'm looking at you like you're a person, and I hit you first, so I don't have no right to be like domestic abuse. He didn't abuse me. He was just like, "Yo, this chick hit me. I'm gonna hit her back," and I was like, "I bet you got that. You got that."
So what are your thoughts on that, Donnie? What do you think? Like, because Saggy said she hit first and the guy hit her back.
Well, I know what we try to find in my state. Domestic, South Carolina for a long time was number one in domestic violent deaths. But we stay in that top 5. All the 50 states. Mm-hmm. We ain't never got out the top 10. So it is very, very serious here. Mm-hmm. And the last Governor Nikki Haley, she put a lot of teeth into that domestic violence statute. So you do that here. We found out it's called a primary the primary aggressor. We can determine who the primary aggressor is. You going to jail.
That's
right. Exactly. That's how it should be, right? Because it's a double standard. And me and Donnie, like, I'm not gonna say what happened, but someone told us something happened to him, and we laughed. We were like, "What the fuck?" Remember, Daddy? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Hey, don't be out here trying to expose Danny, bro. You see
No,
what happened
I'm
at the
not gonna
beginning.
expose. No, I'm not gonna expose. I'm just saying, like, something happened to someone we know, right? And
yeah.
you remember now, right?
Yeah.
And we laughed, right? It was a double standard laugh,
It is because most men don't report domestic violence because they're ashamed.
Should be.
And
That
that's
this
a
woman
problem. I hate that
You
shit,
should
man.
be
Like,
ashamed, bro.
nah, you shouldn't, man, because women shouldn't
Why?
be doing that
I got
to
beat
you.
up by a woman.
Let's say, for instance, you my size. I'm
just playing.
Half
I'm
my
just
size.
playing.
Yeah, we know.
Cut my ass because I'm not. I ain't gonna report that.
Men, if your women are beating you up, call the police and get help, okay?
No.
But that's the problem, right? But that's the biggest problem, that when men are subjected to abuse, them women, they turn that shit around. Like, you try to restrain a woman, they're like, he was rough with me, he hurt me, he pinned me down, and I felt scared for my life. They turn that shit on you. So it's like men lose no matter what they do. So I'm sorry, like, if you're gonna go to jail anyway, you better pop that bitch in her mouth. If you want to act tough and try to fucking beat your ass, pop that bitch in the mouth. Because you're going to jail one way or the other. Because the women always turn that shit around. I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I had a friend who was like that, bro.
You gotta have physical evidence.
I
just got popped in the mouth. I don't see no blood and no swollen lips. I don't see no tiki in the eyes where you've been strangled.
But you see her fucked up, you're gonna be like, it's a
Don't get people in
I got a question. So
Yeah,
from
go
the
ahead,
video, did y'all get some sassy vibes from bruh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was he did a little bit too much. Yeah, he did a little bit. But here's the other video that Sagi was talking about. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Donnie.
You saying lighting the loafers, LB? That what you talking about?
I meant sassy, like, I don't
He
think
gay. He's trying to say he gay.
I don't think he'll pull up on him if that was a man in his face.
You
like
see that put their hands behind their back, man. Who does that shit?
Right. Yeah,
Because that's what it is, like, hit me first type of thing. And it's like, yo, why are you gonna approach that man if you had no intent on smacking him? I'm just saying.
If it was me and
then
that doesn't happen, I'd be going up out there. I'd be trying to get out of that airport for law enforcement to get there.
So
yeah.
So
I'm not trying
here's
to
the
get
question.
get on that no-fly list.
Let's say he does walk away, or you do walk away, but now she's like, see how she chased after him? What if she's constantly doing that? Because I know there's some women out there, and I know a few of these women out there, that lived in the hood, they would constantly, no matter what you did, they would go at you.
The good thing about that, Nzo?
That's an airport.
In that place, the airport got cameras. So if she kept going after him,
There's security everywhere. Just go up to any desk and tell the flight people that there's like someone harassing you.
I mean,
call security.
If I walk away and she stayed behind me, I'll walk away about 15, 20 paces, and she done that, then she might get a right cross.
That's what I'm saying.
I got the video showing that I'm leaving. I got to be cognizant of that. Say, okay, the camera's watching this.
Well, when you notice when the camera starts, he's saying, "You put your hands on me." So I'm assuming that's what happened when it got to that point. I feel like they were arguing, and then she probably pushed him or put her hands on him, and that's where he was saying, "You put your hands on me." And then he got up in her face, and I'm like, bro, like, that's what some women be doing, especially like that chick seemed ratchet as fuck. I could totally see her starting that shit and putting her hands on that man, because he was probably trying to be calm with her, and she was just not having it.
She seemed like she had some of that Latino descent. They got hot tempers anyhow.
Right. And you see how she only hit him after there was someone in between the two of them.
You see how quickly she got away. Once he came after her, she had that same energy.
Right, exactly. And then there's this video, right? So this is another one of a domestic, and this is an OnlyFans woman, and she ends up killing the dude. But like Saigi said, it took like 4 months, And then this video came out.
A newly released video allegedly shows OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny attacking her boyfriend Christian Obamselli in an elevator on February 21st. The video allegedly shows Clenny repeatedly pushing her boyfriend and trying to pull his hair. The man, identified as Obamselli, appears to push her back in an apparent attempt to block her attacks. 2 months later, on April 3rd, police responded to an emergency call from Clenny. When they arrived at her Miami condo, police say they found Obamselli stabbed in the shoulder. He was taken to a nearby hospital and later died from his injuries. Clenny's attorney insists the stabbing was in self-defense, stating that Clenny feared for her life during a physical altercation. Friends and family of Obamselli believe differently. We have no cause to believe that this was a case of self-defense, Obamselli's cousin said. A friend of his said, "We've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her." On Wednesday, Clenny was arrested in Hawaii and charged with second-degree murder for the fatal stabbing of Obamselli. She's expected to be extradited to Miami-Dade County to face charges. For the latest developments in this case and all things true crime, stay with Law and Crime Network.
Yep. Careful with them. They will strike your channel. Law and crime. That's what I thought. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The thing is, if it was the other way around, they would have arrested his ass very quickly. It took them 4 months to figure out. If it wasn't for that footage, she would have walked away with murder.
Yeah, it was his family, wasn't it, that was pushing for the investigation?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. How many times do they say, no, she hit him, and they're like, well, we're gonna look into it. 4 months later, they see that footage. They're like, okay, you can't deny that now. And it's like, why does it get to that point, man? If he punched her in her fucking mouth, he'd still be alive today. He would still be alive today.
That may be true, but statistically speaking, it's usually the male that is the aggressor in most cases,
right?
And that's why you see so much of it and men don't report as much as the females do. And that's when a lot of times when law enforcement they'll usually kind of side with the female, especially if they see some form of, because you just can't go there and she say, Bobby hit me. You can have some kind of physical evidence. If you can't have kind of physical evidence or you can't determine who the primary aggressor is, and there's certain things that by law in my state you're required to do. You can ask other family members that are in there, see what they happen. You can get the call volume and see how many times you've been called there for that and how many times he or she's been arrested. And a lot of times, if you can articulate that, you went out there 20 times. I'm just throwing that number out there. And 10 of those times, Bobby was the aggressor, and he was arrested 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are Bobby was the aggressor this time. So if you can articulate that, then you can arrest Bobby based on that if you don't particularly have physical evidence at that particular time and the particular time you were called out. And a lot of times, if you can't determine who the primary aggressor is, and both of them got marks on there, then you're supposed to arrest both of them and have what they call a primary aggressor hearing. And the judge has to listen to the whole case, the whole facts, and then he determines based on what he heard and the testimony from both parties who's the primary aggressor. Then that person stays in jail and the other person by law is supposed to be released.
Right. But like you said,
that's what would make it a good idea for men that are facing abuse to like report it, even if they don't want to charge their partner or whatever. If they don't want to, let's say, charge them or whatever. Have that record of reporting that these incidents are happening, because like, you know, when your, you know, angry little like girlfriend suddenly like, you know, goes like completely psycho on you and like starts stabbing you with the kitchen utensils.
I can't speak on the men's side, but on the women's side, a lot of times it's not reported. Because statistics say it takes a victim, female victim, 6 to 7 times before she gets the nerves to finally stick her guns and say, I had enough. By that time, you can be dead in 6 or 7 times. And most of the times, the abuser, he isolates them from their family. A lot of times, he's the primary breadwinner. So she don't have, and he doesn't allow her to have any money except what's basically needed to keep the house going. So she don't have a job. She don't have family. She's all by herself. He isolates her from her friends and stuff and controls every aspect of her life. Yeah. And a lot of times when the person's arrested, when the person does assault them and we come out there, they don't want to press charges because how I'm going to live, how I'm going to survive.
Of course, we're all raised to believe that you just got to work harder to make relationships work.
Well, what Danny
lot of
said earlier is exactly why that incident I feel happens, because like you said, you don't want to be that dude, because like, let's be real, men have been raised for the longest time to have those ethics where they don't hit women, and you got to be a man, you got to take it, you got to bottle that shit up and stuff. So they like you said, it's embarrassing for a man because of the way society has looked at them and has raised them to be like, oh, you have to be a man. So if a woman's hitting you, it don't hurt. You can take it. It's like, it doesn't matter if the hits hurt. It's the emotional damage it does to a man. And that's the biggest thing that women need to understand. It don't matter if your punches hurt or your slaps hurt. It's that emotional damage you are doing to that man. You are literally slowly breaking that man's brain. And for what? Because you're mad, you're not getting your way, you think he's cheating on you. Well, bitch, the way you acted, he should be sticking his dick in someone else. Because instead of sticking his dick in your crazy ass, he should be doing it with somebody who actually appreciates him, bro.
What? This show is going downhill fast.
I'm just saying. Don't listen. The term is don't ever stick your dick in crazy. That's a true statement, bro. And then, like I said, women sit here playing the victim. Like, no, you think that just because your physical hits don't hurt doesn't mean you're not hurting that man. That man loves you. Why would you do that to a man who loves you and is provided for you? You think you're about that life?
Well, early in my
because
marriage,
she has no respect for him. That's why.
Early in my marriage, my wife, we got into an argument and she smacked me, and it hurt. It wasn't no emotional damage; it was physically hurting. And I said, "Look, that is your one and only time." And I had a look on my face, and that ain't never happened again. I said, "I'm telling you, you do that again, I'm going to jail." Mm-hmm. That ain't never happened, and I've been married 26 years. So
listen, the only time it's okay for a woman to slap a man is in the bedroom, and if he wants it, that's the only time it's acceptable to slap a man.
I don't want no slap.
Hey, some men like that stuff. I ain't gonna kink shame.
I don't care what nobody say. That's not acceptable.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, why y'all kink shaming? Why you kink shaming somebody like that?
A grown man that wants to be slapped in the bedroom, bro. Like, look, bro. No,
my safe word gonna be, bitch. Don't do that again. That's the safe word.
Y'all having some vanilla sex then, okay?
Right, Saggy? Totally.
I don't want no slaps.
Slap
no
me,
chains,
baby. Slap me.
Some men like to be dominated. It's a kink, bro. You're not kink shaming.
No, absolutely.
Y'all be saying y'all clearly haven't had the right one.
No paddles, no slaps, no strap on. None of that shit going on. Nope.
That's because y'all haven't had it right. I'm just saying.
No. We doing it fine. It's just certain
strap on up the ass. There ain't nothing right about that.
Okay, I didn't go that far.
I have nothing, but I'm not getting slapped up in a bed. No.
You're not putting no damn cuffs on me.
You be bending over, slap me, baby. Slap me.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? A lot of men say that stuff. Like, I would never do this, I'd never do that. Then, you get that woman who sometimes can convince you to do it. You do it, and you're just like, all right, I like this shit. Stop playing.
No.
Stop playing.
Yeah, stop try.
Listen.
Don't knock it till you try, baby.
Right? Do not go until you try it.
The vagina could have fireworks coming out of it and a Superman cape on it, and that still ain't happening.
Fireworks?
That thing could be the infinity war of sex. It ain't happening.
Nope. Come on, just try this one time. No, you're not chaining me up.
Roberto been very quiet. Roberto, what you thinking about smacking?
Oh man, he laughed. Come on, Roberto. Come on, bruh.
I was thinking about what Danny said, and I remember a situation. I was at a friend of mine's house. He was there with his fiance, and she was beating on him, and I was like, "Damn, stop turning your back, because men tend to do that when a woman beats on them. They turn their back, and that's a thing of shame, and they get more violent when you do that." Well, she kept hitting him. He called the cops. The cops came. They rushed him right away.
Of course.
He said, "I called you." They wouldn't hear it. She said, "He called you." They told her, "Ma'am, stay out of it." And when I said it, they told me to shut up. Stay back. It's not my business. That's when I left. So it doesn't always turn out with roses when you call, because as that stigma that men can't hit women, it's the same stigma when they show up that the man is the aggressor, even when he makes the phone call.
Yep. Unfortunately, that is true.
Right.
It's sad but true. So, you know, that's my outlook on it. If it happens, get out. And if you don't, you deserve an outcome.
That's what
simple as that.
That is my suggestion. Before you become physical, get in your car or on your motorcycle or your bike or your 2 feet and leave that house.
But that's why I think it's not fair. That's why I'm always pushing and say, listen, there are women out there
about
like
fair.
me.
I'd rather be
That's
unfair
not fair,
and free.
though.
I'd rather be unfair and free than fair and in jail.
But that's what needs to change.
You know what,
That should
Saggy?
change.
If more women thought the way you did, I think this shit would happen less.
It should. That's what I'm saying. That's why
You know what I
tell
mean?
women,
Because
like, y'all
it's
need
a
to
stigma.
understand.
It's a stigma. Sorry to say, you're the only woman I've ever heard talk like that. So you know, I wish I could say it's a small percentage. That's giving you the benefit.
So here's my thing, right? So people always ask me why are you aggressive? Why you think like this? I'm like, first of all, I grew up mostly around men. Okay, mostly around men. I didn't grow up around a lot of women because women don't usually get along. So I was more comfortable being around dudes and having a lot of male friends. You see them in relationships. You see how those women treat them. And as a woman, I'm sitting there like, why is this bitch treating you like this? I know you're a good dude and you're sitting there taking it. You shouldn't take that. And I've seen a lot of men get abused. I had a friend, and this is a true story. My ex-husband, his what do you call it? Man, what the fuck is it?
This the one that like to get slapped up?
No, he's not the one I guess. No, what the hell is it? The best man. There we go.
The best man.
Yes, the best man. So he was the best man, but he was also my friend for a long time, and they became friends. So he made him best man. Anyways, he developed a drug addiction, right? So at the night before my wedding, because I had heard he was doing drugs, I hit him. We went to the bar and was like, hey, I had a heart to heart. I said, what's going on? Like, I heard you're doing some heavy drugs. Like, what's going on? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, what's up? You're not a drug addict. Like, what the hell's going on with you? You never done this stuff before. He was like, well, you know, my girl, we just had a kid. She told me that, she wished she never had my son. And I was like, damn, man, like that's fucked up. And she was always verbally abusing him. Like he worked his ass off. He worked in the graveyard shift. He would come home. She's always yelling at him. Oh, I take care of the kid. She was verbally abusing him all the time. And it turned him to drugs. He needed an escape. And when I see things like that, I'm like, this is what some women do to men. And like men are supposed to be strong. Y'all can't be strong 24/7. There's a moment where women are literally, I feel like sometimes women just want to break you because they get off on that shit. Because why else would you take a man who's providing for you, taking care of your kid, even the kid that isn't his, he's taking care of. And then what do you do to repay all that hard work? You tell him, I wish I never gave birth to your child. And that broke him. That was his final straw. That broke him. So he started doing drugs, and thank God he kicked it eventually. But like, that's the shit I've seen throughout my life is all my guy friends with these toxic, abusive relationships, and they just stay in it. And I would always ask, why do you stay in it? It's like, well, because I can't, I love them. And I'm sitting there like, you sound like a battered woman. And that's what it is. And that's why I act the way I do. And that's why I think the way I do. Because I see it from the other side, bro.
It's the woman name. No, it ain't the poom poom. It's child support.
Oh yeah, that too. But even men that like don't have kids and stay in a relationship, it's because they probably getting some good bedroom stuff. You know what I mean? And they feel like
not necessarily.
Sometimes it is.
It might be because they're getting slapped up in the bedroom and afraid to leave. Something worse might happen.
Well, no, he stayed with her for the sake of their child, and I'm sitting there like, that's what I'm saying, and it's like that's not fucking fair.
Touch that doorknob, and I'm gonna slap the shit.
Right, but it's like that's not fair, bro. And I hate when I see men get treated like dog shit by women, and it's acceptable. It's not fucking acceptable. And you're right, more women should see that because women these days are fucking selfish and fucking petty. These women don't want to work. They want a man to take care of them. And when they don't get their way, they lash out like fucking children. And then of course, and then society tells them it's fucking okay. Y'all supposed to just take that shit. No, I'm sorry. Y'all don't deserve that shit.
No, she's right.
Destruction of
She's
the
right
man.
when it comes
Destruction
to,
of the man.
and I hate to bring it up, but you know, fresh and fit. That's what they always talk about. The modern women, right? We're older generation, so we don't deal with the women that they got to deal with or the women that are out there. But if you go watch and listen to some of these women that are on there, man has to have 6 figures, and man is this. There's literally a
Mountain
video.
climb, swim oceans, sail boats,
Relationships
pilot.
relationships are a fucking partnership. Women have fought for the rights to fucking work, right? So we weren't sitting at home cooking and providing for the man. We wanted to work, we wanted to be treated as equals. Guess what? We have that now. And what y'all bitches want to sit home and fucking cook and provide, and that's it. Sorry, but no. Don't fight for rights that you're not gonna fucking utilize when you get them. And then blame the men because I don't get
This is not a woman.
That's fuck that shit. Nah, fuck that shit. I'm tired. I hate it. I go to work every fucking day. And trust me, I would love to sit my ass home and do YouTube all the time, but a bitch got bills to pay. And I have a man who helps me. We help each other. That's what a fucking relationship is. It's 50-50, not fucking 10%. Oh, I'm gonna stay home and do the dishes and take care of the kids and spend all my man's money. No, bitch, get your ass and fucking go to work. Women do it every fucking day, and they complain, but they still fucking do it. Get on that on that money train. Stop depending on the goddamn man. Like men can't be fucking housewives. Fuck that shit. They can do equal rights, right? Equal rights. A man could be in an apron at home cooking. Some men cook better than bitches.
No,
okay?
fuck that. I ain't being no house husband. Hell,
I'm just saying. Some of these motherfuckers out here can chef it up like Chef Gordon Ramsay, while these bitches can barely fucking fry an egg. Miss me with this bullshit. Miss me with this bullshit.
Facts.
Stay-at-home husbands getting slapped up in the bedroom. We know what you like, Saggy. We know what you like.
You guys have tender butts. Tender little
yes, you're right. We do.
Tender little pushies.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I don't mind. You know, they can grab the butt, but if you get a little bit too close to the hole, it's like, hey, no. We gotta move those hands.
You know, like I'm close to the hole. Like, what the hell, man?
Right, like all you men on this panel right now, I guarantee you, y'all are good ass men. Y'all deserve equally good ass women, but equally.
No, I'm a lonely man. I'm not a good man.
Well, I'm just saying, y'all deserve some good women in your lives to understand. To understand it's a partnership. You guys share everything together.
Men can suck a little bit too, though. I've been in a lot of relationships with guys that seem pretty like all about equal rights, but they aren't doing any dishes or doing any cooking. What's for dinner? I come home after my working for 8 hours. Oh, what's for dinner? I don't know.
You see, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's not cool either, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Listen, I'll do the dishes. You just take out that nasty ass trash. We'll call it even. There you go.
I'd rather take out the trash than do the dishes. I freaking hate dishes.
I'd rather do dishes and take out the nasty ass trash because sometimes that trash be gross.
See, we'd be a perfect pair, Saggy.
That's a man's job. Y'all take the trash out.
So I got one more. This one really it affected me when I seen this one, you know. Kind of along the same lines, but let me put the video up here and we'll play it.
No.
Come on.
Oh, where's the sound?
What in the world?
This is gonna be the last time. This will be the last video I make. God rest my soul. Wook, Ovia Foreman, you are responsible for your part in this too. You chose to be a destroyer, right? It's okay, fine. You hold this. Take this with you. Tata, wow. You're a habitual cheater, and you have given yourself to men. You have given me STD behind this shit. Like, I'm not paranoid, cuz. You hear me? You fucked nothing recklessly. I forgave you for it. You won't even come home, baby. You won't even come home like I'm a sucker. So watch this, Gayla. Watch this.
Oklahoma City police say Little John, the 3 kids, and their mom all lived together. They were called after Little John went Facebook Live, making threats to kill himself.
Oh,
and the
that was in my city.
Sending the helicopter for a bird's eye view, and we're in the process of getting an Amber Alert out.
No, that's
But that
Oklahoma.
call
Never
came
mind.
in just minutes too
Y'all can
late.
have him,
The
Oklahoma.
vehicle the man was driving pulled up into a neighborhood and parked at 411. This would have been about 3 minutes before police were notified. Sadly, he executed his own children and then turned the gun on himself.
The oldest child, just 6 years old.
The officers and detectives, they just
That shit
look
broke
more
my heart when I
heartbroken than
first seen
anything.
this,
It's even
bro.
worse to open the door and actually bear witness to that scene. and actually see with your own two eyes what's happened there.
Wow.
That shit broke my heart when I first heard that. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
That's just how evil it is in the world now, man. It's just manifesting itself.
That's
all shit.
That's where I disagree with the whole women equality. I can't even blame the woman for that. Like, bro, you could have been mad, but like you being that crazy to do that, you're fucking sick. You're evil.
Did you just see the way he was talking, the mannerisms, and the way his face was? Like, yeah, you know he was all the way off.
He kept about to cry one moment, then not the next. Yeah. I guarantee you, if you research and investigate more into it, he has some mental issues. I guarantee you.
The crazy
You gotta understand,
would
like,
make
they
sense.
say there's plenty of fish in the sea and stuff. He admitted, like, through his testimony, it sounded like she cheated a couple of times.
Yeah.
He forgave her. Why do you fucking stay? Why do you stay? You're gonna be paranoid the whole time, insecure. You're gonna fucking go nuts, just like he did. It's crazy, yo.
But
People
like,
used to say I was ruthless, but I just walk away, yo, and fucking deal with the agony myself.
It's just
I don't
like,
think
bro,
he's evil, but I don't think he definitely, like, I don't know, maybe she brought home some syphilis or something. But
he said it. What did he say?
But I'm saying though, it doesn't like
that takes a while to
What do
deteriorate.
the children do? What do the children like? It takes a lot for somebody.
I don't think
I think he called himself
definitely
hurt.
have, like, a break, like a mental break, completely. Like,
he called himself hurting her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's always
Anyone
about
who
hurt.
Anyone who hurts a child is pure evil because children
Piece
are
of
innocent
shit.
as fuck, right? Like that's
Piece
like
of
the
shit.
thing. Like it's one thing to say shit out of anger, like I'll fucking kill you, bitch, or something like that. It's another to fucking actually do that shit. Like that takes a lot of like mental fucking. You're gone. You are gone if you could take a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're just
And then-
you checked out. Fuck.
And
man,
I'm like,
that's so sad.
and I'm like, yo, bro, like what the kids, and just imagine, they said the oldest one was 6-year-old, right? So now I'm picturing in my mind while he's shooting one kid, the other two kids are there fucking screaming their ass off, crying and scared and shit. Like, yo, I was like, bro, you're a piece
Not
of
even
shit,
able
man.
to run, not even
That's
able to run,
sick,
not
man.
understanding what's happening. They see their father, who's supposed to be their protector, do something like that, and they don't even know what just happened. They don't understand death yet. They don't understand that what just happened, bro. And it's like they couldn't even protect. Oh my god, I want to cry, bro. That's
I did
fucked
when
up,
I
bro.
first watched it. I teared up.
That fucking touched my stomach. I felt like throwing up.
Oh my god, bro! Like,
That's
how could you
fucking-
kill a child? Like, why the
live
fuck
stream,
would you-
man.
Like,
Go ahead,
why
Danny.
would you do
I say that's a determination. Because let's say you just get the nerve to do the first one, and you see that you're gonna do 2 more times.
Right.
That's
right.
That's way
That's a
past
mind of a
determination
fucking
there, buddy.
psycho, bro. That's a psycho. Oh my god, bro.
Whoever was around, bro, like they failed, man, because like somebody had to see how he was not off. I mean, sane. Like, wow, it's crazy.
Right, because
going on Facebook is crying out hard.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably not the first time, right? Like it'll be said, like, and Danny said, if you look, he probably has some mental disorder or something, right?
Ain't no Mike, bro. He definitely has it.
I guarantee
Right.
he had it in his history.
Right. So that means you know, to be careful and watch out for this type of dude. You know what I mean? And
mental illness isn't a joke. And I'm going to use it like you see how that old boy snapped in Joker, right? That shit happens all the time.
Oh, snapping like that? Yeah, absolutely.
Some kind of government, something happens where they cut off your medication or whatever, and then you don't have that coping mechanism, or we respond to the houses all the time, and we get there, he's off his meds, she off her meds, and they be off the chain. They want to get back on their meds, they regulate it. They can cope. Sometimes they can interact stuff. Maybe not as like a regular person that's not on medication, but enough to get by and enough where you don't feel threatened or kind of looking over your shoulder. But some of these people, when they get off their meds, there ain't no stopping them, bro.
That's just absolutely wild, bro. I can't.
They still
I can't
run
even
through
think.
you, zombies.
Like I've been so mad at people before. Like I wanted to hurt them, but I never wanted to kill nobody.
Yeah,
Like that's
same here.
wild. Like that's wild.
Same here. I mean, I've threatened, you know what I mean? But never in my life when I think, yeah, I'm gonna go kill this person now.
Like kids,
I can't.
I've been mad at kids before, but not to the point where like I'm gonna freaking kill you, bro. Like what? Who even think like what the fuck do the kids do, man? You want to hurt the mother of the children by killing the children? The fuck's wrong with you? They your kids too, bro.
They were too young to even be brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
You know what I mean? That's
Christ,
exactly what he
man.
wanted to do. He wanted to hurt the mom, and he figured taking the kid's life would hurt the moms. And
Yeah, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old.
that is fucking madness. Hey man, that dude, if he burns in hell, let him burn in hell. You know what I mean? That's where he belongs.
Hell don't even want him. Hell don't even want him. That's some bullshit. Hell wouldn't even want that shit.
Damn bigger for a bro playing that got me in my feelings. People are that sick. Yeah, it had me too, man. K-Dot sent it to me, and I was like, what the fuck? And when I was watching it, like I pretty much teared up. I was like, yo, I can't even imagine that.
I mean that not only that, but like live streaming it and stuff like that just
Mhm.
shows you like
that's
how social media has an effect on people
Facts.
who ain't mentally strong enough for things. Like, bro, like what kind of mess is that? Yeah, let me go on social media and go murder people.
He
my
talking
kids.
about watch this.
Yeah.
So
Unless he was hoping someone would stop him. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like
You know
you just
what's
mentioned.
that dude was definitely just broken. Like, he totally snapped.
You know what the saddest part of this whole story is? The saddest part of the story is that he ended his own life. Because that man should have lived and suffered with that shit and should have had his ass beaten every day in prison for what he did.
Yeah. He got he took the easy
single
way out.
day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what
Absolutely.
a pussy. What a pussy. You know what? If you're gonna be doing some fucked up shit like that, you should have suffered the consequences. And the fact that he ended his life was the biggest regret that I have with this story, bro. You should have stayed alive so you could have got your ass beat for the rest of your fucking life in jail.
And listen, I don't condone anything, but I mean, if he had done something to the moms, I could like maybe understand it more. But when you do something like that to innocent children, you're just you have no sympathy for me whatsoever. Your own damn kids, man. There's no sympathy for me from that. Those kids look like they were cute too. You know what I mean? They're just starting their lives, bro, and you just fucking said, fuck it. If I can't have this girl, then she can't have the kids. What?
Right.
Who the fuck thinks like that?
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
psycho,
you just
bro.
gotta walk away.
Mm-hmm.
A lot
Yeah.
more people than you think like that, man. That's how these women get killed because the husband or the boyfriend or whoever said,
If I can't have you,
That is
nobody
crazy.
can. Yeah.
I can. Okay, I'm gonna play the hypothetical game. Let's say hypothetically, there was only like 1,000 women on Earth. Okay, I might see that. But man, they outnumber us 4-1.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Next.
Facts. Move on.
Killing somebody and go to jail
Like, bruh.
where chances are I might become the woman. Fuck no.
Like, bro, if life that so bad in Oklahoma City, bro, just go to Atlanta, bro. There are plenty of women in Atlanta that are begging for a man to talk to them.
Facts.
Man,
You know what I mean?
Why the hell I'm gonna go to prison? I gotta fight every day. Gonna probably kill somebody like the booty ward, come up with some bullshit about I like you and I want you. No, you don't like nothing. You don't want nothing. Fuck you. No.
Listen, life is bad. If he wanted to end it all, he could have just ended his own life. You could have just taken yourself out. You ain't gotta take them babies with you, bruh.
Facts. 100%.
But then we don't even know. The possibility also is that he just thought that the mom would like beat on the kids and neglect them. Like there could be even more to this story that we don't know. That he in his brain thought he was like saving them from like a fucked up crazy mom.
Nah, the way he did that video, he was very clear what his motive was. He started and said, "This was cut. This is y'all's fault. What I'm about to do is y'all's fault." He
He
said, "You
mentioned the man. The man name.
Yep.
The only accepted scenario in here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It definitely is like
taking her ass out. Definitely
That's what I'm saying.
Kids. Definitely
Right.
That's my kids.
That's what I was saying, Donnie. If anything, take her ass out. You know what I mean?
No.
Like fuck. But the kids, like
Me
me,
and my kids.
but then again, you gotta understand too, and I get it. Maybe he was thinking if I take her out and I take out, then my kids are in the system. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, they're still alive. That's the most important part about it. But maybe in his mind, he's thinking if I take her out, then my kids will be in the system and their life will be fucked. And maybe he figured that this way would be easier and it would hurt her more.
Listen, as much as this sounds cruel to say, I'd rather them be in the system and have a fucked up life, but at least they'd have a fucking life.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least they'd have
100%.
a life.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
100%.
even though the system can do some harm to kids, sometimes you get them cases where the trauma makes them stronger. They grow up, they strive, they do good. You don't know that, but you didn't even give them a fucking chance to find out. You didn't give a chance. Maybe they would have been in the system and they would have found a better home, and they could have been adopted by Angelina Jolie. Okay, you don't know where them kids would have ended up, but you didn't even give them a fucking fighting chance. You just said, nope, I'm gonna take him out. Fuck that dude. Ooh man, I'm telling you, I wish he stayed alive so that he could just be just like Danny said, all up in there. You get your ass R-worded, beat up every day. Because one thing they don't fuck with in prison is people who harm children.
Facts.
Zank is about to go visit him in hell and beat his ass and come back up.
Facts.
I'm afraid to say it. Satan, take me down there so I can get some shots in. Thank you.
That's okay.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we close it up, LB?
No, I ain't even gonna say what I'm gonna say. That was way too explicit. But that guy there, F that guy.
Facts.
Dandelion, any final thoughts?
No, just don't hit people. Be kind to one another.
For real.
I agree.
Be nice to
Don't
each
kill children.
You know? Yeah. Don't be stepping up. Just take things easy, relax. Don't be Karen. Don't be a Karen. That's my final thought. Don't be a Karen.
Absolutely. We
I
don't need no more.
Here.
The woman that did that to Teal, I like to see what the hell she feeling now.
I do have some advice for the ladies out there.
Go ahead.
Give head, not slaps.
I co-sign that.
Oh my God.
I co-sign that. I swear to God, I co-sign that.
I can't believe you said that.
I co-sign.
I agree with it though. Sagi, final thoughts?
It's kind of like the opposite of everything said. Don't let nobody put their hands on you. Stand your ground. Okay, abuse is a thing for both. It's not exclusive to a gender. Okay, stand your ground. Don't let nobody put their hands on you thinking that they're gonna get away with it. That's how I feel. It might save your life someday. And as far as that, and also don't hurt children. That's just stupid. Why would you hurt a child? The child did nothing wrong to you. Don't do that. I mean, that should go without saying. But about the topic, I'm glad I was on for that because, man, I'm telling you, I always get heated when I see things about men getting hit because, like, I'll be that bitch. If I ever see a woman put their hands on a man, I'll fuck them up for you. You call me, I got you. You don't got to go to jail for nobody. I'll go to jail for you if that's the case. Fuck that. But anyways, that's all I got to say.
I know who to call next time. Danny.
I'm saying, if you get a chance to walk away, you better walk your ass away. If you get a chance to walk away, your life ain't in jeopardy. My advice to you as a law enforcement officer is walk your ass away because if you're a male, you probably gonna get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
But, call Saggy. Call Saggy. I got you.
Okay.
I'll call you Saggy.
But man, it's good topic, man. We actually were here today, and contrary to popular belief, I was not threatening anybody earlier in the show. I was just expressing my opinion. We still cool, so.
I don't know. There was a lot of tone in that voice when you were talking.
A lot of bass, bro.
Yeah, I was energetic.
Wait, what I miss? What I missed? Do I gotta rewind?
Hey, you don't want to hear. It was that bad.
I never heard Danny get mad. I want to hear Danny mad. I've never heard this man mad.
I wasn't mad. I was just expressing myself.
All right, you seen Taken, right?
Yeah.
You know the lines he said on that phone before he went off. That's how it happened.
Oh, was that Danny? I gotta rewind. I gotta see that. What part was that at? What time stamp? I need
Right
that
at the
timestamp.
beginning. Right at the beginning.
Oh, I'm going right back to the beginning. I gotta see Danny going like Liam Neeson.
I wish I was that bad.
Final thoughts, Roberto?
Good show, yo. Good show. Let's a little fucked up the way we ended it, but
and started it. Don't forget that.
well, I remember more the end than the start of my age and the chronic I smoke, so I don't want to remember it, but it just goes to show where society is right now, man. It's a scary fucking place we live. You got these random people just coming out of nowhere, killing random people for no apparent reason. It's happening all over the world, and it's fucking scary, yo.
Yeah, no love of life. I don't understand that, man.
No, it's a dark place we're in. Dark place.
Only get one time at this, and people want to just.
Yep, they're playing games, man.
Absolutely.
Scary.
LB, shout out your channel, please.
Appreciate you having me on again. It was I wouldn't say it was a great discussion, and I'm kind of shaky right now, but hopefully I'll pull through. But you can check me out on the Lonely Banter people, and everybody check out Comic Chat too.
Where can they find you, Dandelion?
Look at that, he's scaring people to promote his show.
I don't have a channel. I just actually mostly lurk in chats, but I highly recommend subscribing to all these other people.
Thank you. Sagi, shout out your channel.
Don't subscribe to me.
Oh no, definitely subscribe to Sagi. Definitely.
I have been told in the last few days that my content is shit and all I do is drama, and most people don't like that. So do not subscribe to my channel because my channel is toxic and drama and garbage. But I'm still gonna do it every single day. So thank you if you choose to come into the toxicity.
I mean, that's better than getting called racist every day.
That's also true. I mean, I've been called a racist, so trust me, I feel the sting.
Hey, listen, if
you're particularly racist, LB, I listen to some of your stuff. It doesn't sound racist to me. But then I'm just a white chick, so what do I know?
you know more than the regulars, that's for sure. And if you guys ain't subbed to Sagi, you gotta sub. Whenever those streams come on, I got my popcorn ready and shit. You know what I mean? Her and Lungo was going at it the other day too. That shit was fire. I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about, you know? So yeah, it's a very entertaining channel, man. Guys, check it out.
You still need to let me come on sometime and explain about how the way they teach evolution is racist.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Next week, you're definitely welcome. We can come
hold on. What was the one we was talking about last week?
That was the week before.
Yeah, we was talking about something a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
The monkeys or the cats or something?
Yeah. That's what I was going to explain, but it's getting late, so I'll do that another time. But I'm happy.
I'll next Wednesday, I'll send you the link. You come in, give us an education.
It's not like, like really mind-blowing or anything, but I've noticed when I learned about it in university, it was like a slightly different take in anthropology than I'd heard kind of like the way I understood it from like high school and stuff. And I find a lot of people still sort of don't have that,
knowledge.
Well, not the knowledge, but it's like a perspective on it. And it's like, oh, wow, I never really thought about that. And then, so now when someone says, if we evolved from monkeys, why are there monkeys? I'm like, really?
Oh, I was the one that said that. So, okay, we'll be on here next week so you can explain to me.
No, it was Roberto who said that, but that's okay.
Was it Roberto? I thought it was me.
Okay, it's no big deal. That's what I'm saying, right? Like that idea.
Good looking out, Danny.
That's a racist idea, putting it that way, right? That's not the way evolution works. But anyway, we'll do it another time.
All right.
Mr.
Graham.
But that's kind of how it is because the giraffes didn't have long necks at first. You don't see the short giraffes anymore.
No, because they're not giraffes. Okay, do you want to do it now?
No.
Wait, we don't want to do it. We'll do it another time. It's cool. It'll be a different kind of topic from the usual stuff.
Roberto gonna be texting me and like, yo, I'm out, guys. I gotta go back.
Yeah, I know. It's getting late.
I'm melting.
I gotta be up early.
So go ahead, Danny. You're up.
I'm Danny K. Comment Chat. You can find me Monday through Wednesday on Chaos Central along with Nzo and Chris Knight. We didn't do it tonight because Chris had to work, but we'll be on tomorrow. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, not this Saturday, but next Saturday will be the return of Square One, where you see me, Nzo, Chris Knight, and Roberto. We'll be talking to NFL. There's a lot of NFL news
Can't wait.
popping up. Very interesting. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch be one. T.O. calling out Jerry Jones saying he want to be a cowboy and be another topic. So
what?
Okay. Oh yeah.
He wants to be a cowboy.
Yes, sir.
Again? Fuck that guy. And maybe we'll have a special guest on there because LB likes to talk about sports as well. So maybe we can have him on.
Sure.
And have some sports talk.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Roberto, tell them where they can find you, even though you don't have a channel.
Oh, you had jokes before, and now you want to have jokes again, huh? Look at this guy, my co-host, my compadre. You can find me here Wednesday nights, and as Danny said, Square One coming soon because sports and life is about to begin.
Absolutely. What's up, Mike? Thanks for popping up. What's this I hear about Danny threatening people? Yeah, go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
That's not true, Mike.
And I
respect to everybody in the commentary.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody that popped into the chat, Chillmonger, Mads, Mama Bear. Who else was up in here? Eyes Only. I said Chillmonger already. Andrea was up in the place. Triple X was here. Hey, man, all you guys that came and popped in, I do appreciate it. Jason Lee Tucker was here. Drop Shop was here. Thank you guys for popping up. You know, it's always a pleasure to do these streams with you guys. On Friday, well, tomorrow we'll be doing the Rule of Three. And then on Friday, we will be having the tournament, which will be the best TV moms. So that should be an interesting one. I got the list ready and everything. Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a
I'm
tough
less
one.
committed to the moms than I was to the dads.
I don't know who's doing that.
I heard the Rule of Three gonna do most threatening movie stars soon.
Where Danny's the star. Yeah.
It's always John.
Peace, guys. See you on the next one. Love y'all. Thank you.
Night, everyone.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.